Hi, and welcome to our Retired Nomad Adventures.
I'm Retired Rick.
And I'm Daphne, and we are a retired couple who are traveling the world 1 month at a time with just a carry-on and a backpack and a $5,000 a month budget. Today we are with you in Da Nang, Vietnam, and we always, when we come to a new place, like to share our first impressions with you. Today's video is a little special because we have a surprise for you.
Well, I'm going to ruin the surprise. Our son joined us. It's his first time in Vietnam, so we're going to get his first impressions of Vietnam, but we're just going to wait till the end to have him come in and see what he thinks.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have a fresh perspective on things. So when we arrived in Vietnam, we had to get a visa. Now, we shared this with you in last month's video when we were in Hoi An, but in case you're new with us, know that we applied for the 90-day, it's a tourist visa, and that total cost for that was $25.
Very easy. You do it online. You can also do it at the airport, but it's a lot easier to do it online, and that way you don't have to worry about it, and it was just super easy.
Yeah. And also super easy was the airport. So we came here from Hoi An, and that was a 45-minute drive, and we just got a Grab for about $15. But if you were flying into the Da Nang airport, that's only about a 15-minute drive to, we're staying on Mai Kay Beach, and so that was a 15-minute drive, and
it's like $4. It's no more than $5.
Yeah,
so,
easy.
Very easy.
The airport's super easy to navigate. They even have a Grab station right outside of the airport. It's designated, and there's somebody there to help make sure that you're in the right lane for your Grab to pick you up.
Dummy proof.
Yes, very much so. And like the rest of Vietnam, the currency here is the Vietnam dong.
Very easy to get cash. You just go to the ATM and you just withdraw cash, and it's about a $3 transaction fee. But if you have a card that reimburses you any ATM fees, then it's really no issue at all to use your credit card. So, or not a credit card, but a bank card. And we use Charles Schwab just for that thing. And at the end of the month, we get reimbursed our bank charges. So it's really nice.
And credit cards are also very easy to use here, and they charge you a small fee, a 2 or 3% charge sometimes, and sometimes they don't. So just know that cash is king, but you can definitely use your MasterCards and your Visas here.
And in most cases, we're using a credit card, so it's no problem if you don't have the cash, because most likely you'll be able to use a credit card.
Yeah, and you like to use the credit card to help you track things.
You can track it easier.
Yeah. Here in Da Nang, we are back in an Airbnb, and we haven't been in an Airbnb in quite a while.
It's kind of nice to have an extra room and have a little bit more room than a hotel.
Yeah, it really is nice. Rick can come out into the living room. I tend to sleep in a little longer than him, so he's not stuck in the bed trying to be still and quiet. He can come out and do whatever he wants to do, and then I get to sleep in a little longer, so that has been really nice. We booked an Airbnb for 25 nights, and the total cost was $1,041. Our son was joining us, so we booked a second bed. We have 2 bedrooms, and it's also really nice to have our own laundry. I mean, the laundry service was great, but just being able to throw things in as you want. But let's take you on a tour of the Airbnb now so you can see what we're talking about. Hi, and welcome to our Airbnb in Da Nang. We just got here, so we haven't unpacked, and so we're giving you our true sort of first impressions, our first view of this Airbnb. So far, the kitchen seems great. It's fully equipped. We kind of poked in all the drawers, and it has all the knives, pots and pans, all the things that we think we could need. It also has this little island where there are 4 chairs, which is really nice, so we can sit and do our work from here. There's a cooktop. There's no oven, so we won't be baking any roasted potatoes, but we have a cooktop and a microwave, and so I feel like that'll be plenty for while we're here. Lots of storage, and the guy, he even gave us, look at all this toilet paper. I don't think we've been anywhere where they've supplied us with all of those kinds of things, so I feel like we're set up really nicely. This Airbnb is a 2-bedroom Airbnb, so let us take you in and show you the first bedroom now. This first bedroom has a double full-size mattress on the bottom and a twin mattress on the top. And this is great. Our son is coming to stay with us for a couple of weeks while we're here. So this will be his room. It's really nicely set up. It has its own air conditioning unit, and these stairs are even pull-out drawers, which is really nice. And then something that's like a little treat for me is that Rick and I both get to have our own bathrooms here. So this bathroom would be Rick's bathroom. And then this is the living room area. So the nice thing about this couch is that you can tell when you're looking at things online how comfortable something's going to be, but we did the sit test and it seems like it's going to be nice and cozy and comfy for us. They have a nice big new TV, so as soon as we're done recording, Rick will get busy hooking our Fire Stick up and making sure that we're connected there. And then I'll take you into the primary bedroom, and you kind of step right into a sink area, and then this will be my bathroom, which is so exciting. The nice thing about both of the bathrooms is there is a rainfall shower head, there's a removable shower head, and then there's even a little faucet at the bottom. We're at the beach, so you can rinse your feet off. And then in here we have a queen size bed. It seems to take up all the room of the bedroom, and you can see that we travel with a carry-on and a backpack, but we have exploded a bit in Hoi An because the shopping there was so good. So we're going to have to weed some things out before we move on to our next destination. We didn't have to take a flight here, but we will for the next one, so we need to weed that down. Now, the thing that really sold us on this place was the view from the balcony. So I don't need to walk you or talk you through that, but Rick's going to take you out and show you the view, and so you can see what really sold us on this Airbnb. We hope it's helpful to see what you can get for sort of that dollar amount right on the beach in Da Nang. And since we've been here for a few weeks, my overall impressions of the actual Airbnb are by and large very positive. I'd say the one big drawback is the hot water here.
Yeah, it's a smaller hot water tank, and the Airbnb host even has signs that say small tank. If you run out of hot water, just let it rest for a little bit, and then it'll fill back up. So
that's hard to do with shampoo and conditioner in your hair, though, and so yeah, it's been a little bit of a downside.
Yes, but saying that, our Airbnb host has been fantastic.
Wonderful.
on responding back to whatever we may have. We hadn't had any issues, but he was able to provide transportation for us, able to answer some questions and give us ideas on what to do. So it's been fantastic.
Yeah. I would say we met up with some friends, maybe our second night here, and they were staying at the Voco Ma Bell. It's an IHG property, and it's also right on the beach. So now this is a hotel room, but they booked with their IHG credit card, and the cost for it was only about 10,000 points per night, and they are in a beautiful location on the beach, and they paid a little extra to upgrade to a room that allowed them to have what we have here, a bedroom, and then a sort of a living room area. So I would say if we were going to come again, I would try to book at that hotel right on the beach, using our IHG credit card and getting that fourth night free. That seemed like a really great way to go.
Right.
And then the wonderful thing about Da Nang is that you have both the beach area and then you have the river area, which is kind of more of a city vibe. So this same couple also had booked themselves into the Crown Plaza, which is another IHG property, and are very happy with that because that also comes with like breakfast and an afternoon tea, and then also an evening reception. So if they don't want to, they're not paying for any of their meals. And so those are two really great options here in Da Nang if you're not interested in an Airbnb, or if you want to use those IHG points. Those are two really good properties. The time frame when we're here is kind of that mid-April through early May time period, and the weather has been fantastic.
It's been fantastic. We can't complain. It's not humid. I mean, some days are humid, but it's not bad, and it's just perfect beach weather.
Yeah, it's
the beach
warm,
is
but beach warm.
Yes,
yeah,
beach warm.
So like mid 70s to high 80s,
Right.
kind of in that range. And so I feel like we've been very happy and lucky with the weather here.
Yes.
And because the weather's so nice, and also we never rent a car whenever we go anywhere, and it wouldn't be a car here anyway if we were. It'd be a scooter, and we're not doing that. But the weather has made it so that walking is really lovely.
Yeah, really nice. It's easy to walk around. The city is laid out very easy. It's just easy to walk, except for when you cross the street. That's you put your life in your hands and you just go and pray. So
Yeah, and there's grabs all, I mean, so we were just
Yes.
talking today that the grabs are, it feels like they just wait right outside wherever you're at. So we get a grab whenever we want to go out to dinner or go to a restaurant that's over on the river on the other side of town, and that costs us about $3. So it's really inexpensive and very efficient to get anywhere that you want to get. And one thing that we noticed here is that the locals go out to the beach and they tend to do like their exercise and their walking.
Very, very strange. We can see the beach from our Airbnb, and we go out to the beach, say about 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And it's all tourists out there. The time that the locals come out are, if I get up at 5:30 in the morning, the beach is packed.
Crowded.
So I don't know what time they get there, but they're there at 5:30 in the morning, and they're also there after the sunset.
Or just before sunset. Like as it's cooling down.
So,
I mean, we're talking really crowded, and it's all the local people really enjoying the water.
I think they know something about the weather.
Yes.
So let the tourists go out during the day where it's hot and they get sunburn and cancer and all that, and then we'll go out and enjoy the beach when it's cooler. And that's what they do. They're in the water. They're playing volleyball. 5:30 in the morning. They're exercising. I think they know a thing or two better than us.
Yes, I agree, because it really is just us tourists out there in the
Yes.
heat of the day. But the beach, the stretch of the beach is such a nice place we walk from one end of the city to the other to get to restaurants on the beach, or there's a beautiful boardwalk that you can walk. So I feel like this is such a nice walkable city.
Very easy.
Yeah. Being at the beach was the real reason that we chose Da Nang. So
Right.
we wanted a beach destination, and that is what we spend most of our time doing. You can rent chairs out there, 2 chairs and an umbrella for
It's kind of expensive. It's like $4.
for the whole day. So for 2 chairs, an umbrella, and they'll provide you drinks. I mean, you purchase them, but those are also very inexpensive. So you can have a very easy day out at the beach, and we do that a lot. when we're
Sometimes
there.
there's one section that'll even provide you with some towels.
Yeah, and the chairs are also so nice. They're the kinds of chairs, not all of them, but the ones that we go to, they even have the whole, like as if you were getting a massage. So it's super easy when you lay on your stomach, your face gets to just sort of relax. And so very comfortable, really nice to sort of spend the afternoons at the beach for us.
Right.
And maybe we really do need to think about doing those mornings and evenings more.
Yes.
The other thing is what's so great about Da Nang is that it is sort of a tale of two cities where you have this beautiful beach vibe, but then you can also go over to the city area. And so we have done that a lot, kind of along the river.
Yeah.
There's the Dragon Bridge over at the river. That is a tourist attraction that you must see.
You have to do it, but it spits out a little fire, some water, and that's it. And
It's over pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's over pretty quick. We went one time to a restaurant and enjoyed a beautiful meal where we could watch it happen. I would say that's the way to do it. So
Yes.
it's just sort of a little extra. We also bought a ticket to ride the Han River to be able to watch it happen. And that's not necessary, I don't think, but I really enjoyed the dinner evening watching the Dragon Bridge.
it was nice to be able to enjoy a meal and see that in the background, and then sit back down and have a conversation with people you're with.
Yeah. So you got to see it. And then if you're over enjoying the Dragon Bridge, also I guess we should say the Dragon Bridge spurts its fire and water Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. And if you're over there, you should also take some time to head on over to the night market. You've kind of got to see that. It's hustly and bustly with lots of things that you can shop and buy, mostly souvenirs.
You can also eat there too. They had lobsters, they had fish, they had all sorts of stuff. We wanted to eat there, but we had just finished dinner, so it was kind of hard to have 2 dinners. I mean, I can pull off 2 dinners, but I don't think anybody else could.
And we still do have some time left, and I'll be surprised if we don't make our way back over there because they had those beautiful big lobsters like what they had in Hoi An. Okay, so then there's also within the town of Da Nang, you can go to Marble Mountain, and I think that was a hidden gem for us. You could spend a good half day at Marble Mountain climbing down into the caves or up out of the caves, climbing all over the mountains, looking at the temples.
And you have to be mobile to be able to do that.
Yeah.
There's an elevator, but it just takes you up to 1 level, and that's fine. But then once you're up there, you're still walking up quite a few stairs to be able to get to places. So if you have mobility issues, it will be an issue.
Yeah, that's really true. And we were surprised because we thought the elevator took you all the way up. So when we saw where it landed, we thought, we chose to walk up the stairs mostly because our son was with us, and we wanted to save face and be like, yeah, that's no problem. But when we saw where the elevator dropped you off, it was very surprising.
Yeah, it was very limited.
You would still have
and
quite a few stairs to go.
Yeah, you're still climbing stairs.
Yeah, but beautiful lookout points, lots to see and do there. So we highly recommend recommend Marble Mountain. And then also within the town proper, you can't miss, there's Lady Buddha, and she overlooks the ocean and keeps us safe and protected. Yes. That would be a shorter amount of time that you need to spend,
right.
1 or 2 hours. There's lots of monkeys up there too, so if you're into that, I'm not, but if you're into that, there's monkeys up there, and
right.
it's really beautiful and a great thing to be able to see and do right here in the city proper.
And it's nice to, you can always hire a driver and they'll take you up there, they'll take you other places. You just negotiate a price and they'll wait for you, and it kind of, you go at your own pace.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was nice to have a driver.
I think that's been interesting for us here. That's something new, like
right.
just getting a driver to sort of take you to 2 or 3 places, and then they wait for you, and but you're not having to go with a big organized tour and wait for a group of people. Instead, your driver's waiting for you. So that's really nice. You can also certainly go on day trips, and there's plenty of places to go on day trips too. We went to Way, and that was about a 3-hour drive through the mountains.
It was a 3-hour drive through the mountains. I didn't really want to go, but I was outnumbered and outvoted. And the funny thing is when we got there, Daphne and Blake both got out of the car and says, "Can you believe how long that drive was?" And I was like, "No, I can't. I knew how long the drive was."
Well,
so it was just a funny thing.
So we think perhaps if you go to Way, maybe do it over a course of a couple of days. Like take the drive out there, or even better yet, take the train out there and then stay there for a couple of days and then make your way back. We did it all in one day, and that might have been too much.
Yeah.
So during your time here in Da Nang, there's plenty to do to keep you busy, but also you could just very easily shift gears, hang out at the beach, get massages, and really relax.
Right.
Your choice. And also plenty of food to eat here. So the food choices are
fantastic. You can get Vietnamese food, you can get Mexican food, you can get Italian food,
like anything.
We've got all of it, and it's very good.
Yeah,
all the food is good.
And it's everywhere. So you're not limited to certain areas where there's lots of food. It is really kind of everywhere. The coffee scene is also bustling here, and so you are going to be spoilt for choice for food. And it's also very inexpensive.
Yes.
So for 2 of us, it's about $20.
No, for 2 of us, it's about $10 to $15.
Oh, okay, even better, even better. So $10 to $15, and that's usually Rick having a beer or 2, and I have a soda, and we always start with a spring roll, so there's an appetizer. So lots of things that you can get to eat here and inexpensively.
Yes.
We're not going to take you through that today because next week we have a video where we're going to share our favorite places to eat and also give you a perfect itinerary here. So we'll really go through that with you then.
Yep.
And we eat out
every day.
So we do have a kitchen because we're in an Airbnb, and so I
make breakfast in the morning. It's usually eggs and toast, and that's pretty much it. We go down to get coffee, and then from there we'll have another meal, maybe 2 meals, but most likely another meal later on, like in between lunch and dinner.
Yeah, so we don't do much grocery shopping, and we haven't noticed where we've been much in the way of like proper grocery stores, but there's markets everywhere. Yes. So right next to our Airbnb, there's 4 markets that I would say are our markets that we could choose from, and that seems like that's the case up and down. There's all kinds of markets, and
they're pretty much all the same price.
Mm-hmm,
so you don't have to go around hunting for something that's a lot cheaper. It's pretty much all the same price. Yeah,
your eggs are about $1.50, and so is the bread, and wine you can get for about $12, and my sodas, which we get, are about 60 cents for an individual bottle, and those are sort of the things that we get over and over again.
Yeah, every now and then we'll get a snack, we'll get tea or a juice drink or something, but for the most part it's just snacky stuff.
Yeah, very inexpensive and easily accessible. There are also lots of places to go get your hair done at, in particular barbershops. So
just across from our Airbnb there was a barbershop. The very first one we went into, I got my hair cut, and it was $2.71. $2.71. And then when Blake was here, we just got another haircut. So I got a haircut and a shave, and it was under $5.
And while I was sitting there waiting for him, the girl came and asked if I would like to get my hair washed, and I thought, well, yeah, why not? And so she gave me a full head massage. She washed my hair, conditioned my hair, and she didn't blow and style it out, but she blew it out so it was dry, and that was $4. So fantastic. And I'll say here, there are lots of salons too. So I actually ventured into a salon and got my hair trimmed, and I got my roots colored because my grays were really fighting those box dyes and stopped accepting it. But I got a haircut and a color for $27. So that was also fantastic. The other thing I will say is I really struggled to find lotions, body oil, all the personal care girl stuff I struggled to find in other places, and not here in Da Nang. Anything that you can want, you're going to be able to find in Da Nang. It's a very modern sort of metropolitan type city, and so don't worry about those things here, because I have really struggled, and I'll tell you, I've been able to find everything that you could possibly want here in Da Nang.
Even, I mean, just a side note, we're having coffee, and then someone comes up to us for a broken screen. Like, they must have saw Daphne's broken screen or something, and for like less than $5, they replaced their screen. It took less than 5 minutes, and it's fantastic.
It's a screen protector that they replaced, but it was just so funny because I had just dropped it and broke it, and so we had said we were, and some out of the blue, he just came up and he took it and fixed it himself.
It's just so cheap.
Yes,
it's very
and
cheap here.
Plentiful. So there's plenty of opportunities for any of those things that you might want or need when you're here, which makes the city itself super livable.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, now let's move into, we'll bring our son on in and we will share our overall first impressions. Tonight's Blake's last night with us, so before he leaves tomorrow, we wanted to make sure we took the opportunity to get his first impressions along with our first impressions of Da Nang. So why don't we start with that question? Rick, why don't you tell us, what are your overall first impressions of Da Nang, Vietnam?
Overall first impressions, I'm very impressed. I'm impressed on how easy it is to kind of get around the city, how cheap things are, and just how calm everything is. It's just really relaxing.
Nice. How about you, Blake?
Well, so he kind of stole my first impression. This is my first time in Southeast Asia, so I guess I was expecting it to be super crowded, hard to get around, like the streets being crazy, and I think Da Nang is not that. It is very chill and livable, and you can get around easy. So I think that was my first shock of the city.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. And then I think for me, I liked and was surprised that there seems to be sort of two different distinct parts to the city. Mm-hmm. So like there's the beach area, and then over by the river is definitely very much a city area. And I think you described it, you said it kind of gave like a Miami vibe. Yeah. And so that was also surprising to me. So that was surprising, and my first impressions, like you guys, is that it's so easy to be here. You
it's like fluid.
Hit the ground and easy breezy.
Yeah, no transitioning into anything, not worried about finding anything. It's just everything was easy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So do you guys mind if I have some kind of rapid fire questions I have for you? Okay. So here we go. All right. So what's your favorite Vietnamese food?
Well, it depends. At Hoi An, it was the Cao Lao.
Yes.
But they don't have that here, so I'm not sure. Like
Rick has grilled fish, and grilled fish. That's what you want to say.
I want to say grilled fish, so I had grilled fish here, so I like grilled fish.
Okay,
you can say I'm going to say grilled fish.
How about you, Blakey?
So mine's a cheat because it's not in Da Nang, but we went to Hoi An and we had the quang noodles, and that was top tier for me.
But I do feel like we got quang noodles at one restaurant here. They might not have been. Did you get them at one restaurant or no?
No, it was just the Hoi An quang noodles. Okay. But those were the best.
Okay, awesome. And then for me, it's the Vietnamese pancakes. Like, I love the Vietnamese pancakes. That's my favorite. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy is it for you to cross the road?
A 6. Well, I could say a 10 because I just go and close my eyes and pray. But probably a 6.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So it's a 10 if you just go. The thing is if you stop, that's how you mess up. But I would say I'm about a 7.
The streets here are definitely wider. Like there's more more lanes.
4 lanes.
Yeah,
4 to 6 lanes.
So we kind of go halfway, stop, and then go the rest of the way. And I'd say for me, I'm about a 5. I would give myself a 5.
I try to be too polite, and you can't be polite.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and so how about the most surprising thing about Da Nang?
Well, it's our first impression is how easy it is to get around the city and how comfortable you feel when you're in the city.
Yeah.
So I'll say the most surprising, I live in a colder climate, so coming here I was really nervous about the humidity. So anything really like above 70 was a little iffy for me. But I will say the humidity wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting like deep humidity, having to change your clothes like 2 or 3 times a week.
A
day. But no, the humidity is not terrible here. It is hot, but in a way that doesn't feel like oppressive or gross. You can be out, you can walk around, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable.
And I should say we're here in April. So so just kind of use that as your gauge. We're here in April. And for me, the most surprising thing, I guess, is very much like you, just how easy and livable Da Nang is. Very easy to size, but like everything about it is just easy. Okay, your favorite memory or favorite thing to do here?
Favorite memory
Or favorite
these
thing.
are rapid, like probably just going to the beach, walking along the beach.
Okay.
It's such a long beach, and the sand is nice and soft, and the water's warm, and I think the beach.
Well, I'll give you two. So I'll say mine's the beach too, right outside this window here. We're looking at the beach now. So I've been laying out, being in the sun, playing in the waves, the beach. But I also say we got some souvenirs from there. I will say Marble Mountain actually is, I think it's like worth the tourist trap to go. It was actually really cool. The caves, hiking up the mountain, seeing all of the just different elements and what they were able to build. I think it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. And so for me, other than having Blake here, because you won't have Blake here, so I can't make that my favorite memory, but same thing, I love going to Marble Mountain. I was surprised. We had gone to Lady Buddha, which was also fabulous, but Marble Mountain, we could have spent, I thought we would spend about an hour there, and that's kind of what we had in our mind, but we could have spent the entire day there, but very easily a half day. Super interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Would you come back to Da Nang for a vacation?
100% yes.
I would. It's super easy. It's the cost is amazing. So yes, I would come back.
Okay, awesome. Well, we hope that today's
Would you
video.
come back?
Oh yes, I would. I would totally come back. And so we hope today's video was helpful for you as we shared our first impressions of Da Nang, and then we hope that you join us next week when we take you through what we think would be a perfect itinerary for you if you came to Da Nang. So we'll share with you all of our favorite places, costs, best places to eat, all the great things, and we'll share some pictures because we'll only be sharing those things that we did. So until then, bye.
Bye.